Hey guys, JStar360 here. I had a bit of time on my hands, so I watched the second episode of Season 6. Conspiracy. Again, summary, just quickly in case you don't remember it. A clone named Tup, I think that's how you pronounce his name, killed a Jedi while in combat. So they brought him to Camino Medical Facility to be examined and treated. And while there was the Jedi came to a bit of a head because the Jedi wanted to preserve the clone's life while the Kaminoans did not, because the Kaminoans have orders from Lord Tyrannus that the Jedi can't find out about Order 66, which we find out finally there's a chip inside the clone's brain that's supposed to provide a counter in case the Jedi turn evil, so the clones will have some way to fight back. And they don't want the Jedi to discover this because Palpatine is his Order 66 plan, and he doesn't want the Jedi to discover it before he can unleash it. So he's having the Kaminoans kill the clone and send the chip to him so he can figure out why the clone was defective. And before someone I forget what it was. I'm like to this one Star Wars thing on Facebook. They said they were really disappointed with this arc and thought it was considerably weak. And at first I'm like, how do you figure that out? Figure that out. How can this arc be weak? It's an arc about Order 66. I can't see how this could be lame. And suffice to say, while I did like this episode, I do think it's kind of not bad, but I'm kind of disappointed by it. I mean, again, it's not bad. There are some good things, but some stuff bothers me. Like, for the most part, I mean, nothing really that interesting happens. I mean, yes, it's kind of cool to see Fives going off the book to save his friend. That's cool. I like seeing the droid violate his program, and there's nice commentary on following orders. But at the end of the day, nothing is really accomplished here. I mean, besides Palpatine having that was a close one. I mean, it's more for our benefit. I mean, it seems like the whole point of this arc so far, again, I think there's like a couple more episodes left in it, so I could be wrong, but it seems like the whole point of it was just so we could have that conversation between the Kaminoans and Lord Tyrannus, who I have no clue how the Kaminoans can't realize it's Dooku, but so we can learn how Order 66 works. That's like literally the only point of this arc. And not much happens. I mean, we have... again, it's not that it's a bad arc. It's just... either you could have short... There's no real satisfying payoff here. I mean, it starts cool, like, where are we going with this? And then we get here and it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, oh, we know what it is now. But for the clones, it's like, oh, what was the point of that? Again, it's not that it's a bad arc, it's just nothing outside of that hologram, nothing really interesting happens here. Again, I'm not saying the stuff in here isn't good, it's a clone arc, and when I think of clone episodes, they usually tend to be really, really good, and this one just seemed kind of eh. Although it's not entirely bad. Again, I like the stuff with Fives, and I like how we're learning how Sifo-Dyas actually knew something about he somehow found out about the defective chip and he's died. I'm assuming Count Dooku had something to do with his death, but I'm sure we'll find that out. Because we are going to learn a bit more about Sifo-Dyas in this arc. Again, not much action here is my problem. I mean, there's no real payoff. Again, the arc's still going on. There could be another... It could get really interesting in the next episode or two. I mean, the next one I think is called Fugitive. I don't know what that means. But yeah. And I'm getting used to Palpatine's voice. I mean, it's a bit more nasal and sounds something like this, and at some points I can clearly tell it's Tim Curry doing the voice. I mean, he did Nigel Thornberry from All Thornberrys. I can kind of hear a bit. I can't hear a bit. I don't know. I don't know Tim Curry's voice well enough, but I know it well enough to recognize it. But yeah, so another thing that bothers me here is that Shaak-Ti is kind of dumb. I mean, isn't it so suspicious that the Kaminoans want to kill the guy, that they want to cover up the brain tumor? Palpatine wants the brain tumor. Like, he wants to keep the Jedi away from the brain tumor. Like, I find it really odd that everyone's just really stupid. I mean, again, it's the writers. They want us to find out what Order 66 is, but they don't want the Jedi to, of course. That's the frustrating thing, is that you want them to make progress, but you know they can't because they can't know what Order 66 is. But, on the other end, it was cool to see Shaak Ti again, who I don't think we've seen since Season 3. Does she just chill out in Kamino all the time? I don't know, but yeah. How has no one figured out Palpatine's evil? But yeah. Oh yeah, and I love how Filoni is like, well, we know there are kids watching this who haven't seen Revenge of the Sith yet. It's clearly obvious that Palpatine's the Sith Lord. I mean, that smirk he has at the end. I mean, the fact that, especially in Season 5, when he, like, senses something and then you immediately see him landing on, especially in the Darth Maul arc, but I digress. So yeah, again, it's not a bad arc. I am enjoying it. It's just not as good as I thought it would be. But again, like, arc still goes on. We still have more episodes. Plus, Filoni said the Yoda arc was going to be cool, and I'm going to take his word on that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this. Again, we'll see where this arc goes, but until then, this is JStar360, and I'll see you guys later. Until then, may the Force be with you. Oh yeah, and another thing. May not be able. I may or may not have the art. I'm going to try and do these vlogs daily, but keep in mind, because of life, I may not get a chance, so sorry. So if I'm not doing these on a daily basis, again, not my fault, but as I said in my earlier update, I just blanked out what I was going to say. Again, I do have a life. But yeah, so, again, JStar360, may the Force be with you.